I don't know how they did it, but they somehow managed to make the ability to stop time so fucking boring. Dude, this show is 12 episodes, and like 2 of them are good. And I feel so bad saying that, because the idea itself is so cool. The show takes place almost entirely in stopped time, because this girl's nephew and her brother got like kidnapped by a cult. And so Peepaw is like, we're gonna stop time and then walk over there using our special family spell or whatever. And it starts out so interesting, because it talks about like all the things you could do in stop time, like stealing or, you know, killing people. And then it immediately goes, but you actually can't do those things. Well, you can steal, but like you can't like harm people, because this giant fucking like a tree monster thingy will come out and crush your head or whatever. And then those are interesting, because it turns out that the what do they call them? Handlers. That the handler guys are actually just real people who like, I think they're like weak-minded or went insane or something, or got dragged into time stop without actually meaning to, something like that. And then they kind of just turn into the big monster by the end of it. Like 7 or 8 episodes in, they deal with like this girl's family who got turned into handlers when she was like 5. This sucks, I know, but she came back and she got him out with the help of the main character's like ejection power. And then the next handler you see is the main villain, because he's super strong or whatever. And it just makes him fast and strong. They just kind of get boring. Also, the writing in it, it's not very good. Sometimes it shines through, and it's really good. Like, especially the last, like, episode and a half, while we watch the main girl start to, like, cope with being stuck in stopped time forever, because she can't get out because she smashed the rock or whatever to get in that they used to get in, and she's the only one who can eject people, but she can't eject herself. So she's, like, coping with the fact that she's gonna be there forever. And we got to watch her, like, seriously get stuck there, and it's so good. It's the best part of the show. It's, like, the best written part, it's the best, like, portrayed part. I really like the end of the show. But the rest of it's just kind of like, they're yapping at each other for a while. Like, there's just a lot of talking, man. The villain has, like, 7 forms, the last one's like a baby. It's crazy. I don't know, I didn't fuck with it. I was really bored for most of it. And then when they did fight, it looked like shit, because it's like all CGI. And I'm not an anti-CGI guy, but like, you gotta at least like, it's gotta look okay. It looks like they found these like online, which I'll give it this. It's like 2017, I think, 2018 when this came out. That was like the height of like bad CG, I would say. So I understand why, but like, it just looked so bad. And then it was just fucking people yapping with each other for 12 episodes. And sometimes it was important, and I was like, okay, I'm locked in. Like, when we get, like, the girl whose family was turned into Handler's backstory, I'm like, okay, this is interesting. And then we get to the cult leader, now turned Superman, like, Handler's backstory. And it's just kind of like, man, that sucks, dude. We gotta kill you still. Like, you gotta go. And then they do kill him. Well, they kind of do, because the fucking... my favorite side character, the dad, comes in and is like, I'll just kill this guy. Like, sometimes it feels like it was just padding for time at some points. Like, when it would show dad and, like, the nephew's big adventure at the mall, and it's just like, here's a toy, kid. I got you a toy. Also, like, the way they deal with the villain is so bad, because it's just like, he gives his backstory, and then the dad kills him anyway, and then he turns into, like, this big crystal, and then they get rid of the crystal, and he just turns into a fucking baby. Like, his memories are gone, whatever, he gets wiped, and then he's just a baby. All I'm saying is, Bakugo wouldn't have hesitated, but instead, the main character just, like, decides to raise the kid. That's her son now. And even then, bro's like, the villain's motivation is so fucking stupid because he starts this whole cult because of his sad backstory where his dad actually wasn't like a pillar of morality. He actually just started a cult to fuck people. Isn't that crazy how that happens? Anyway, he does this whole thing because he doesn't even want to use the time stop to do anything. He just wants to fucking bear witness. He wants to sit in the cosmic cuck chair, and that's it. That's his whole thing. Everyone else in the cult's like, we're gonna touch people, or we're gonna like save the world or whatever. And their leader is just like, I wanna watch. I don't know, man. It's so fucking stupid. And then he's like, I still gotta kill you though. Sorry, them's the breaks. It's so dumb. Also, the way they made the you can tell it was very lazily written in terms of like why we would dislike why the bad guys are bad, because most of the time they would be just actively trying to kill the family, which is what they were paid to do. But anytime they encountered like a female character, they were like, what if we got freaky? For no reason. It was just like, if sexual assault is the only way you can think to make your bad guys really hateable, like what do you... It's just boring. It's boring. It's bad writing. I don't know, but that's just my opinion on it. I do like the ending. But like I said, I like the last like episode and a half. When she really like resolves herself to stay and says all the goodbyes and stuff. Up through her getting out. And I would say the ending is also bad writing, because she just like, she almost becomes a tree, and then like she somehow just happens to be near like the only person who can get her out and can also just drag them in for some reason. But it's also though at least the way the anime is framed, it is set up to where that is like the first scene in the show is like her fucking tree form running into the girl. So at least it's a Chekhov's gun, albeit a bad one, rather than just like randomly, oh by the way, she's here now and this girl's here and she saved her. At least there was like a precedent for her to be there. I already told you the visuals are bad. It's CG. Some of the shots are cool even if they are CG, like especially when they first stop time and like it shows a bunch of different objects and then it'll like 3D turn. You can tell it's CGI, but it's a cool shot. The soundtrack is good. The like background music, very nice. It's like, it's mostly unnoticeable, but when you do notice it, it is very nice. Like when they go on the offensive for the first time, she starts knocking people out of time stop. That track is really cool. I think it's just like the fucking opening. But speaking of the opening, it's the best part of the show. Flashback by Miyavi is an absolute banger. You should go listen to it. And then the ending is fine. I like the ending. Anyway, that's really it. I mean, it had an interesting premise. The time stop was cool, but it had a boring execution. The last like episode and a half was the best part of the show for me personally. The soundtrack was nice, and the opening is an absolute banger. 6 out of 10. Anyway, next week we'll be looking at Anohana, and until then, I'm a man who's been stuck in the exact same moment for the past 3 years, and this has been Kokoku. Thanks for watching.